an Elon Musk Psy-Op. Elon is just as bad as media. Media is just as bad as Elon. We're going to dive into this because I have an article that I did not publish from a number of months ago about just questioning Elon Musk. Is he the best thing for humanity, or is he the worst thing for humanity? That article will be coming in the next week here. It's a little bit more in depth, but this is really one of the fundamental bases of understanding truth, how to uncover the truth in media, how to actually understand what is going on, triangulating position, using your GPS to see from different sources, what is the actual answer? What is about the right answer? Because we can never get the actual answer itself. However, we can, if we're looking at many different angles, see what's going on if we take sources from different areas, different echo chambers, right? And we're going to show you this, just how corrupt the media is and the megaphone and the propaganda they spew on you. Finding answers, questioning everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. For if there is a God, surely he'll respect real learning and growth over blindfolded fear. That's my paraphrasing, just layman's terms, of Thomas Jefferson's quote, one of my favorite quotes of all time. And the true quote from him is, question with boldness even the existence of a God. Because if there be one, he must more approve the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear. That is really the essence of becoming a person of understanding, of wisdom. And it speaks largely to how I try to operate in my life. I don't always get it right, but my father always preached questioning and discernment as well. We've lost that discernment muscle, as Alex Stanzik says at Swan Bitcoin. He talks about the discernment muscle, and it's atrophied in all of us because of life and chargebacks, and we get to get bailouts and student loan debt's getting canceled. So our discernment muscle isn't there. This FTX thing blowing up, all these crazy things going on. Well, people just don't even do due diligence anymore because, what, I'll get bailed out. Someone will come in and rescue me. But what that does is it affects only a few people taking crazy risk at the top, basically, and then everyone else becomes poorer, because those bailouts affect all the people, especially the poor and the middle class, the most. So all these bailouts really affect the people that don't understand what's going on, just saving in dollars, and they just get a higher cost of living through inflation over time. Listen to what people are saying and pay attention. Listen to evil people. And there's evil people on both sides of the aisle. Remember, it's not red versus blue, it's the state versus you. The real fight here, the real culture war, is collectivism versus individualism. Because I have a newsflash for the socialists, the communists, the people that are out for the collective. They are parroting this game, saying they're for the good of the whole. What's good for the individual is actually good of the whole, because newsflash, society is made up. The collective is made up of individuals. So if you're going to give the average person, the individual, the most freedom possible, then just by the necessity of doing that, it would have to mean that the collective now has more freedom. You can't do this top-down, one-size-fits-all. That's not how life works. You can't have the same process done for everyone, because everyone's different. Everyone's unique. Everyone has their own uniqueness to them. Everyone has a story to tell. Some are benevolent and some are not. I realized in 2009 that the game was rigged from both ends of the political spectrum. I was very political before these times, and I thought that one side was better than the other. And I realized they're not. They just aren't. And so many people fight this fight thinking that one side is right and the other side's wrong. It's just not the case, unfortunately. They're both in bed with each other. And that is what Washington really warned us in his farewell address, saying, do not do the two-party system, because they will get corrupted and you will be living this dystopian world that we now find ourselves in. One party started the bailouts in 2009, and the other party came in and finished them. John McCain came in, was leaving the trail, going to vote for more bailouts, vote to enrich his buddies and enrich himself. George Bush starting it. Obama comes in, bails everyone out, and finishes the bailouts. TARP, all these goons down here, Henry Paulson, Ben Bernanke, the Fed Reserve chairman down here, Timothy Geithner, all these people that gave golden parachutes to their buddies, all these Goldman Sachs guys, everyone, they're in on the game together. So realizing, oh my goodness, what is going on? There's a game being played. I need to figure this game out, because this game is running over all of us. The 99%. Occupy Wall Street had it right, and the Tea Party had it right. They're both the same coin. They're just two different sides of the same coin. One has more of a collectivist mindset, one has more of an individualist mindset, but they're saying the same thing, which is get out of my life. Let me live my life. The people are free to do what they want, then people prosper. Society's living standards go up, cost of living comes down when people are free and the government gets out of their life. Ronald Reagan has so many incredible quotes on these about government getting out of people's lives. And when government continually meddles in your life and takes away liberties, you ultimately have less security and less freedom. They come in under the guise of security, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, welfare, student loan bailouts, stimulus checks, transfer payments, unemployment. And the more you go down that road, the less and less freedom you have, the less and less ability you have, the more red tape you're trying to cut through to become free. That is the irony in all of it. And again, the more you do what's good for the collective, this one-size-fits-all approach, the more the individual gets screwed over, and the more you find yourself trapped under the chains of bureaucracy and red tape. I know many people here growing up in Metro Detroit who lost their life savings and their retirement because of what happened, what government did, and those subsequent bailouts, both parties, what the ruling class did to enrich themselves and their friends, and have their Ponzi's and zombie companies or bankrupt companies that should have failed continue on. And you have people, so many people, I mean, I've followed this with so many people on both sides of the argument. I would say 70, 80% of people are still for these bailouts, saying, well, we had to do that. We had to do it. Well, no, we didn't. And now we're going to pay some massive prices for it. Massive prices. This is why I've been saying now for 2 to 3 years, get out of the system. You better get yourself out of the system. 10 years ago, I knew I had to focus on myself after the 12 and 12 election. People just weren't understanding liberty and freedom here in America, and we were going very socialist. Now, as of 2020, it became very apparent that we need to get out of the system. You need to become your own central bank, become very resilient, very independent, and make sure that you can survive on your own, because you are alone. The government is actively working against you in so many ways. It's just ridiculous on both sides of the aisle. This knows no, like I said, the game is not red versus blue. It's the state versus you. It's collectivism versus collectivism versus individualism. So one must ask themselves, why such a fascination with Elon Musk and the companies that he is buying? What is this distraction campaign all about? Again, I'm on Twitter a lot. I see all what's going on. I don't even know what the guy's doing. He's just going out there saying, hey, $8 here. You know, he tweets out some things, says different stuff, and people just lose their mind. Yet when other billionaires own the company Twitter, not one peep was made. So ask yourselves, why such a fascination with Elon Musk and the companies he is buying? Billionaires own these companies before. Like I said, no one said a darn word. But for some reason, this billionaire, who was seemingly for years in the same camp as the media and the collectivists, are now turning on him. Again, the collectivists generally eat their own, by the way. That's a quick side note. The individualists generally can't coalesce, and it's hard for them to get their things done because they're so fractured and so independent, it's very hard for them to do anything. That's where both ends of the spectrum kind of come together. Majority of it has to do with enabling more free speech, or at least that's what I've seen of it. This could not be more of an American value. This is the First Amendment. This isn't an opinion. This is a literal fact. It's stated the First Amendment in the Bill of Rights. More speech is better than less speech, always and everywhere, period. Something smells off. And if you want to know why people are freaking out so much, because there's a few people that control the world, as you can see. They control big tech. We've got some stuff down here about who controls the media companies. They control everything. 95% of all media, all big tech is controlled by only a handful of people. And so their megaphone is pointed, and they will tell you what to look at and how long to look at it, what to believe, how long to believe it, when to believe it, and on and on and on. So the bigger question is not what is going on with Elon Musk. It's what the media doesn't want you to focus on, and the distraction campaigns and the coliseum that we were thrown into to obfuscate reality and what's truly going on behind the scenes. How come no one's talking about the scandals with minors and the advertisements among ruling class and all the different things going on there, right? We can get into the list of these things. I don't know what would happen. I don't know if this would get taken down, so I'm not even going to go down that road, but there are so many things that could be talked about, but aren't. Why is that? How come no one's auditing or questioning where all the money is going to Ukraine? How come we're just sending, no one asked us, we're just sending billions over there? Where's it going? Does that tie in with the FTX stuff? How come no one's auditing any of this? How come that person is running free and doing whatever they want still? How come certain cryptocurrencies founders like right here with huge inside ties are still on the loose after defrauding people of billions of dollars? How come we're not asking how can our elections become more secure and making sure votes are done in a timely manner within one day and are actually being counted and they're actually with machines that work? How come we're not vetting the connections and insider trading that goes on within the political halls of power? These are things on both sides. Wouldn't both sides want these things? Don't you want to know what's actually going on? Don't you actually want to be an adult and figure out what's going on and get to the bottom of these things? How come we're not talking about the New York Fed, who just in the last week here rolled out central bank digital currency, a CBDC, and is already testing their spy coin on Americans? How come we're not talking about any of this? How come this is rolled out in secrecy while the propaganda megaphone is just pointed over here, blasting over everyone's face? Elon Musk, Elon Musk, Elon Musk. This guy, a threat to democracy, a threat to democracy, threat to democracy. Really? Really? Come on. These are some questions. These are some things that are going on right behind the scenes, right behind that curtain, that veiled curtain. All right, outside the Coliseum, the emperor's up here doing thumbs up, thumbs down. Guess what? The senators, Congress, Treasury, they're out here screwing everyone over. The real questions, the questions that no one's answering, the things that are happening in the silent darkness of night and that they are doing to all of us, red and blue, both sides, men and women, old, young. No one's talking about these things. Why is that? Why is that? Yeah, again, we're talking about these things the unproductive class wants to focus on. The Kardashians, crying out loud. What's on Snapchat? What Elon Musk had for breakfast this morning? What he said today? Just like Donald Trump a few years ago. I mean, every time the guy spoke, it's just like, oh, the media is just distracting you to go where they want you to go. It's like cats with a laser. See, these are the things that media tries to cover up and dump in the dark hours of the night, these things above. And while people aren't paying attention, then by the time you wake up, they have you all ticked off about Elon Musk, like I said, or some crazy thing in a classroom somewhere. Great, that's fine. I don't believe a lot of things are going on in classrooms right now. But those are distraction campaigns. Those are psyops to get you distracted from what's really going on. Again, those are symptoms of larger problems. These are all symptoms. So getting you ticked off day to day of what's going on in a classroom here, what a teacher's doing there, what kind of show kids are going to, those are all symptoms of a larger problem. Get to the root problem. You aren't going to fix anything by just slapping Band-Aids on those problems. These are great ways. Right here, though, this is the answer to start uncovering the truth. Reading between the lines, you can discover the reality of what is going on in the world, and not just what you do, bureaucrats and some, wow, I don't even know what I'm doing there. What is going on, and not just what some bureaucrats or media moguls want you to focus on. So pay attention, read between the lines. The question should always be, if they're telling me this, is it possible that the opposite of what the media or what this person is telling me is true? If I'm getting my information from one source, should I maybe look at a few more? 3, 6, 12 other sources? Triangulate position like a GPS to find the accuracy, the common theme in all of them? Should I find other opinions other than the echo chamber I find myself in? Who is funding this source that I'm learning from? And what is the incentive or the motives they might have? Remember, there are a few people at the top that control entire nations with their media megaphone and the propaganda they spew. Again, more imagery that shows you how few people control so much, which is okay in and of itself if people look beneath the surface and understand where incentives and motives lie. That is the most important thing out of all this. However, we have the most information humans have ever had at their fingertips to cut through the noise and find truth. The world is being disrupted, and the old guard is doing everything they can to make life crazier and crazier to keep the average person under their control. Trust, but verify. Separation of money and state. These things are coming. These things will happen, and this will help above. Show me the incentive, and I'll show you the outcome. Stay strong. Appreciate you tuning in here. Please let me know if there's something you would like to see, how we can do better. Dislike it. If you would like, and give us a comment how we can provide better value, entertainment going forward. And if you liked it, please like, subscribe to the channel and to the blog, and share with someone you think might appreciate this, might need to see this. Please, and thank you for your time and energy spending with us here. It's the most important asset we have. It's the only finite asset we have besides Bitcoin. Bitcoin is time, and time is Bitcoin. Save in something that is equal to your time. There is nothing that I know of that is equal to your time like there is Bitcoin. The only two finite assets. Don't trade your finite time for infinite things like infinite dollars. Don't trade it for blades of grass, for grains of sand. We have to trade our finite time for a finite asset. Bitcoin. It's the only thing I know. Please save in that. Become the hardest person on earth. Become uncancelable. Become undestroyable. Please. We're in this together. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.